do tend to see spike strips at some point or another. That seems to be the preferred method based on previous pursuits on surface streets as opposed to pit maneuvers or freeways or something else. But right now, it just seems like this car is slowly maneuvering through traffic. It's not getting to the, it's obviously already reckless, but not getting up to the recklessness of just speeding directly through intersections without regard for what traffic or people are coming through at any given moment.
And it's interesting. I mean, LAPD right there, so close behind. We've seen LAPD speed up and then at times almost give this person space to kind of maybe try to read what the next move is going to be. A lot of times we see these on surface streets. They stay in the area that they're most familiar with, so it can almost appear that they're, you know, going in circles. But this one, so it can almost appear that they're, you know, going in circles. But this one, just picking this up now, seeing it travel through the Harvard Heights, Pico Union area is what we saw earlier. So again, just an interesting dynamic with all of this traffic, almost bringing this car to a standstill.
Well, especially because normally, you know, when we see this much traffic in certain scenarios, and it's
5:45. I mean, obviously it's a Sunday afternoon, but people are still out. I mean, I can't imagine the freeway is going to be any easier as we see him drive through that middle turn lane, as if it's its own lane, going through yet another intersection as those cars are stopped.
Yeah, and obviously right now going under a bridge and overpass, so always, and coming out the other end, so you always hold your breath, right, exactly.
They could be making a getaway or at least trying to stop and potentially even carjack another vehicle.
And see right there, that's where it gets tricky, because you see that initial car move out of the way because they don't want any part of it, and then another one sort of whiz by, and it gets really, really dangerous.
What's up, CM?
But no, it's still, I mean, just still moving forward. It hasn't, the vehicle here hasn't really exceeded, based on our initial views since we broke in.
Can you guys hear it? I can't hear.
40 to 50 miles an hour or so. It hasn't gotten to untold speeds.
And much of that
I don't know
is
why it's
because
not
of this
playing
traffic and just how many cars they're having to maneuver. It's kind of surprising that we haven't seen a side swipe or a fender bender or something of that nature for as long as they've been able to be on these streets and weave in and out of traffic, and you know, sometimes at times being in the opposite
Sean, what's up?
side of traffic, which we know can just be extremely dangerous at
love
any
the
time.
resub theme.
But specifically when there's this.
One of these days, I will.
We also know that obviously the more you know, brush up against those moments and avoid it, that's just another variable you're adding to the equation, and the likelihood of something like that happening and running into another vehicle or crashing into a fence or a gate or something.
It was loud. I added it so I could turn it down, but now I can't hear it. So,
but there's no clear, you know, as Adam's normally.
Thank you, Chado, for resubbing.
There's no indication really based on how this car is driving right now, or specifically now in South LA, a specific direction to really indicate what exactly they're doing. Again, we don't really know if it's one or two people in the car or more. We haven't gotten any sort of up-close look or anything. We just know so far, if you're just tuning in, that LAPD is in pursuit of this white Camry that you're seeing, giving you a live look from SkyCal here, and that the driver or the want here in this particular case is assault with a deadly weapon. So
assault with a deadly weapon.
So far, obviously working to pick up how this actually got started to begin with, or where it got started, and sort of map things out a little bit better.
Yeah, it was interesting there as we saw them take that route yet again in the turn lane. LAPD seems to be kind of mirroring their, you know, what they're doing. They're getting in those turn lanes as well. You got to hope that people are paying attention. Obviously, this is not what you expect on a just, you know, random Sunday afternoon. But this is where things get interesting because, yeah, I mean, these cars can only do so much. You can see some trying to
the seas
get
are
out of
parting.
this guy's way, but LAPD right there on their tail. So we'll see if they get on the freeway
and
at some
so
point.
far, I was going to say, we've only seen one cruiser so far, but you see a second, I saw a third tailing back as well. And now this seems to be the...
How is my audio level? Is my mic good level compared to the
on the back,
news?
And now a fifth. So very much, and then a sixth.
We got 5+
Another
cops
interesting
here.
point to note here. So we know that they are wanted for assault with a deadly weapon, but important for our viewers to know that, you know, we still haven't figured out if LAPD knows that this person is still armed, if they maybe
it's
that
even,
weapon
so I want
or
that
what,
to be a little
could
lower,
still
right?
Potentially be a very dangerous person that could have a weapon in this car, which is why maybe we're seeing, at least at some points in this chase, LAPD kind of give them a little bit of room.
Yeah.
I want to be a little louder. Audio's good.
And we've been told by law enforcement before that that's exactly right. That the dynamics change if you know or don't know that a suspect has a weapon, that's why you're not going to see a lot of vehicles, a lot of law enforcement vehicles get right up close to the driver's side window or anything for risking, in order to risk an officer's safety. So
background noise, like what?
Let the driver, in this case, the suspect in this case, either tire themselves out, drive themselves out,
run out of gas,
and maybe run out of gas.
Run out of gas.
A bit of a waiting game to a certain extent.
That's on our bingo
There's
card.
a tricky balance to manage between obviously safety, and that's the priority for everybody else involved. When you have buses, you have other vehicles, you have pedestrians, and it seems
Quindy,
like now
this is a assault with a deadly weapon.
Coming to a stop here, almost as if it's abiding by traffic.
It does look like something is. You look at the back window there, Gio. I don't know if you can see this, but it almost looks like.
There's a passenger with their arm out the window.
Shot into, or
No, I think it's a
wonder if,
optical illusion. What the person's talking about. There's nothing wrong with the back window.
In the back of that white Camry, so maybe not from a different angle, but certainly as this moves through South LA, people need to be aware of the danger.
I'm being told we also have retired Police Sergeant Patrick O'Malley on the line. I want to check
Not
in
Patrick O'Malley.
Yes, I can.
First off, thank you so much for giving us a few minutes of your time this evening. What are you seeing so far, and what do you know, or what can you fill us in terms of the logistics of the situation?
Fox appears to be way ahead.
Well, you both have touched on it
I'm
a
gonna
little
switch.
Bit. This is something that seems to be pretty
It's
serious.
the same feed, but it's
assault
just
with a
way
deadly
ahead.
weapon. We don't know
So this
what
is
the
directly
weapon
from
is
their
at this time,
helicopter.
But by watching the pursuit.
So I don't know if there's any audio. This is just like way ahead. It's the same helicopter feed. I might go back to the other one because there's audio. I don't know. Like, this is the actual helicopter feed versus the television feed. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, now on the audio. I don't really like that. Shit. Okay. I wish another news station was on this at this point. Are any of the others on it yet? They're like underneath of here, right? So I might switch us back because I just want to hear the audio.
Well, that's what's kind of concerning.
Refresh real quick.
Be on it, and it looked like at one time they could have had as many as 7 units behind it. It looks like something that they will stay with now, and at this point they'll probably just notify CHP.
And I was going to jump on that point, perfectly segued by you, Patrick, is how does the dynamic of CHP get involved in terms of coordination, in terms of logistics, in terms of handoff?
It looks like he's really going a second ago.
How does that
Now he's hit
transition,
traffic,
so to speak, work if and when it does become
like he
a
was
transition?
speeding. Like really going.
Well, most departments will notify CHP when they get onto the freeway, and then CHP will want to take over the pursuit completely or not at all.
Oh, are we looking at a no-fly zone?
In this case here, it looks like it has to be some type of very serious incident, possibly a shooting.
All right, Patty, what's up? Thank you.
LAPD may want to stay with this, but knowing LAPD policy and how they work, I could still see them handing this off to CHP, and then CHP would take it over completely, and LAPD would back out.
I mean, we're watching right now, as you said, just so many of those units are now behind this car on a busy freeway. I mean, what is happening right now as LAPD is making the decision of, how to handle this when obviously they're thinking of other people's safety as well as, of course, those officers, and it being unpredictable of if this person, still has a weapon. What's going through the
they are
heads
on
of
it
these
on
officers
NBC
right
now,
in making sure
but
that
I mean their angle is
safely
just as
continuing this on a
bad,
busy
right?
freeway.
So.
Well, and as you can see, most police pursuit policies indicate or dictate 2 patrol units and a supervisor. So you usually have about 3 units in a pursuit.
This is bad.
You can see in this pursuit with as many as 7 or 8 units, it looked like, that they take into account how many people are in the car.
Is showing an old chase. What?
So with all of these units involved,
they're showing an old chase. What is going on?
Due to the weapon that's in
Mustang
the car
chase.
has already been used,
what is this?
or the the number of people that are in the car.
Is this their new thing where they talk about what happened?
69. Understood. And I just want
It's
to
a
make
year
clear for our
old.
viewers
All
at
right,
home,
anyway,
the
never
reason
mind,
right
but
now, as you take a look at SkyCal
we'll check that
Live,
out later.
It's getting a little foggy, and we're very zoomed in and trying to play with our exposure there on the camera, is because we're coming up, or rather right on the edge of LAX
Smog,
airspace,
yeah.
so we have the restriction there. And obviously, as that pursuit continues, if it keeps going in that direction, it might prove to be difficult for us unless it starts swinging back around. So obviously, if we have to vacate this area, or rather just come off of the pursuit for a bit in order to reestablish where they are, we'll continue to keep an eye on it. And then if it swings back around, we'll obviously put SkyCal right back on top. But this
I
is
know
why
that
right now it
NBC
seems
or
a bit
one of the
foggy,
stations was
tricky
going to
make out
start
what
doing a
exactly is
thing where they
going on.
review an
But
old
just in
chase and then
case
tell
anybody's
you
just
what
tuning in
happened
right now,
afterwards,
obviously we have retired
like
police
what
Sergeant
the
Patrick O'Malley on the
outcome
line with
was
us,
or
but
whatever. So maybe
LAPD is
that's
in
what they're
pursuit
doing
of a
right
white
now.
Camry. That was the
But
vehicle that was on screen a few minutes
it's
ago.
strange because there's a
The
chase
driver
happening
wanted
live,
or the
and they're
suspect
showing a
rather
chase
wanted
from
for
1
assault
year
with a
ago.
deadly weapon, hence the seriousness of the situation, and why at certain points we were seeing upwards of 5, 6, maybe 7 LAPD vehicles in pursuit of this car. We don't know if it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
one
shit,
person in the vehicle
MKRQ.
or
I'm
two
missing
people
all
in
of
the
this. I need to
vehicle,
fix
but,
whatever
once
the
again, we are
hell.
nearing up
I
on that
did the
LAX airspace
thing
restriction, so that's why it's so difficult to see.
Yeah, Charles,
in
I know
terms
the
of
one on
what
Fox
happens
is
next
way
year, I mean,
ahead,
you know, Patrick,
actually,
we just
but
get kind of in this loop of
CBS
where
is
it seems like it's a waiting
delayed
game,
for
right?
whatever
Or you're just
reason.
rather, there's a tricky balance between safety with regards to those on the roads that have nothing to do with this pursuit.
So at this
safety
point, we
of
might as well
officers
just watch
but
that.
also trying to get this suspect apprehended as quickly as possible. How does that balance? How do you manage
They
that
have no
balance in
audio
something like this,
whatsoever.
which is very, very serious, as you pointed out before, but then also you have to manage everything else that comes with it.
Yeah, and that's the whole key is adrenaline and stress, you know, between the watch commander at the station, the field sergeants that are trying to run the pursuit, and, you know,
It's funny to me
second
that
by second,
MCLA
they're
is showing
evaluating
another
what's going
chase.
on, you know, the crime that took place.
Oh, now they're
locating the
on. Yeah, they're
victim
still showing
of
this
the
other
crime
one.
to
What
make
the
sure,
hell?
you know, they have the right car.
So funny. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. And MKRQ,
to continue the pursuit.
thank you.
and
It
off the
seems like
pursuit,
I did the
or,
thing
you know,
because I wanted to
notify
adjust
other
the
agencies
level
or the
that my
other,
alert box was because it's been
departments or
super loud and I haven't
jurisdictions
been able to
within
control
Los
it.
Angeles Police Department. So that's all
I need to
going on right
monitor
now.
it. Is that
and
what
then
it is?
getting, you know, one
I'm
or
not
two
hearing
possibly
it, right?
helicopters up above
So
it,
I need
and
to
it may be
monitor.
other agencies' helicopters that'll try to get up above
There
it
we
too.
go.
But right now, they're in that airspace that's going to make it hard for everybody.
Okay, I
Yeah,
fixed
and
it.
because of that, Patrick, we are going to go ahead and, you know, come back with our viewers here on KCAL CBS.
Okay, they're gonna
Los
cut
Angeles
off
Channel
on
2 when we are
CBS, but
able to
we've
get
still
back
got
over
it
that
here.
pursuit safely. Of course, you talked about that airspace. Just makes a huge difference in our ability to follow this pursuit. So while we do that, we are going to go ahead and just appreciate your time, appreciate your insight here. Oh, is this? Yeah, this is earlier. So looking at the right-hand side of your screen, if you're just
They're
now
showing
joining us
they're
following that
showing
pursuit that started in Pico Union and is
replay.
now heading into South Los Angeles.
So we'll keep tabs on this. We'll circle back. Patrick, thank you again for your time. We appreciate it, and we'll circle back down the road.
Thank you.
Is NBC going to the new chase or what? Are they just gonna show an old one? Maybe I should be having watch parties for these chases on things that NBC's doing now. Whatever the hell that is. Replays. So I guess they're trying to go around the no-fly zone right now to find the chase, which I appreciate. What's up, Crispy Jenny? Oh, Vic, what's up? And King Ed, how you doing? Heavy traffic. Shit, is this where he is? Is this where he is? Oh, no. Oh, no. Getting on the freeway in the first place, sketchy decision at this point. Did you miss it? No, Vic, it's right here. Here they found it again. It's this guy right here. So we're back. He's just stuck in traffic now. Should try to get his way. He wasn't on the freeway to begin with. At least when we first saw it. This guy's wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. Yeah, hella traffic, Greg. What's up with that? Sunday night, and they got crazy traffic going on. Oh, JP, what's up? MKRQ has been subscribed for 73 months, which is pretty nuts. Okay, we got good view of it now. Let's go. Prediction, right, the prediction. Most people said yes, most people were right. New prediction up. They got audio yet? No audio. Maybe
to talk to us.
Oh, there we go.
Right now, or is it too soon? So far, as we look at this white Toyota, it doesn't appear to be going an excessive rate of speed, only 52, 55 miles per hour on the 105. But we are under the impression that this car, the suspect is, the want on the suspect is assault with a deadly weapon. That always makes police and any law enforcement a little wary because they don't know what the suspect will do and whether or not that suspect still has a weapon indeed. There's some suggestion there might be another person in this car.
It looked like there was definitely another person.
Creates a situation
we
where
saw someone sticking their arm out the passenger window.
Is that person in there voluntarily or not? Again, we have just like a bare amount of information here as we watch this car travel along the westbound 105 freeway. So now
or the driver has extremely, or the driver's like Victor Wembanyama or something.
And the airport creates a situation more difficult for Skyfox.
Good point, Orby. I did not consider that.
It'll be in the general vicinity of all of the air traffic going into LAX. We've got police specialist Tim Lin on the phone. And Tim, you would agree, right? As this car is heading westbound, it might cause a problem both for the law enforcement helicopter overhead and Skyfox.
So they already had to go around it, and now they're going to have to deal with it again?
Westbound 105 is the southern border of Los Angeles airspace, and if they stay south of that, they should be able to stick with it because it doesn't impede with the approach to 25 left, 25 runway 25 left for LAX. So
yeah, Canton, what's up?
It does get to a problem when they get a little further west here as we continue on. There is an airspace that kicks out from there that they have to avoid as well. That's why the shot is getting a little bit longer. But yes, this LAX airspace is very complex when you get this close to the airport. They will keep you out. It looks like he's going to transition over and try to maybe pick up that 405. We'll see if he does, or the Sepulveda off. But it does cause a problem for the pilot to stick with it. Now, the law enforcement, they allow them in a little deeper and a little bit closer than they do the news media. And then
I don't know, Canton, that's what I thought they did, but I guess not. I don't know what they did last. I don't know what they had to do to get the chase back again, and now they have to do it again.
Underneath the runways at LAX. And so for the news media, this is going to cause an issue, and hopefully they'll let them do the midfield crossing there at LAX.
Right.
Please let them do it for the sake of my content.
We've had a number of pursuits that wind up in this airport area, and it's oftentimes that will successfully allow at least our eyes to not be able to follow along, and sometimes law enforcement as well. They figure out where to go to sort of hide from the helicopter. So when we talk about, Tim, this is a suspect where, you know, the suspect is supposedly one for assault with a deadly weapon.
Now too.
What goes through your head? I mean, sometimes the deadly weapon could be the car.
Yeah, I'm sure the officers pursuing have more information than we do here at
ABC
at Fox,
is
but
different angle, but not
will
better. Definitely
run
not
the
better.
Pursuit based on the information they have. Now, ADW is a lot more dangerous than just a straight stolen, and they'll stick with it a lot longer in this situation. Now, if they have information on weapons used, are there handguns in the car, is there a rifle in the car, or as you said, is
I
the
love
car
the
the
speculation
weapon?
from our guy
They
Tim
will-
comes
they
on.
will
Well, I
adjust
mean, maybe
their
there's a
tactics to
rifle,
that.
maybe there's
And the way
a
I've been watching this, they've been
handgun,
just
you know,
in a
maybe he's got some
following mode.
grenades, I don't know.
They've had several times to do a pit maneuver. They have not taken advantage of that, but right now,
Okay,
it
this
looks
seems like
they're,
a really bad
just gonna
place to
hang in
go.
here and follow it as they can.
Oh,
The,
man, I
driver
feel like
kinda
this is gonna
making this
end.
little bit of turn here to go up.
Like, why is he
the,
going so
the
slow?
Boulevard,
Oh,
Lincoln
what the
Boulevard,
hell?
which will take him,
He's going the wrong
or
way,
take the
or
driver
what? No,
up
he can
to
go
the,
straight.
North of the freeway. north
Okay,
of the
everyone's
airport,
stopping
and
to
that
let
big
him
sweeping
go.
thing that goes around and
Now,
into Marina Del Rey.
did the car just go through a red light? It was kind of unclear.
Yes.
Everyone
Okay,
just
so
stopped to
the
let him
driver
go.
went through that red light. Fortunately for him, thanks to the lights and sirens of the LAPD behind him, it was enough to stop traffic going in the opposite direction.
Oh,
so
Space
now
Dive,
this,
what's up?
this Toyota
Socket, what's up?
Corolla is going at
It's
a,
not. Yeah, maybe
much
there's
higher rate
maybe
of
they
speed
have,
than when
I don't know.
than the driver initially headed into that intersection.
Maybe they have
And
several
again,
pounds of fentanyl. Who
We're right
knows?
along. You see the runway right there, Tim. So we're right there with LAX.
Well, right now, your helicopter is positioned to the south of all the runways, shooting across all the runways, and that's the 24 right, which is the north complex of the airport. So they haven't gotten permission to go across. But Lincoln is a wide open
Dimitri,
street
what's
as
up?
it
Yeah, literally.
borders the airport, and
Riding
then it'll
off
start
into the
making
sunset.
that northbound sweeping turn up towards Marina Del Rey and the 90 freeway. And just watching the way the LAPD is handling this, they're holding back on this. The driver itself of the suspect vehicle is driving kind of cautiously, came up to that light and just kind of worked its way through.
Yeah, I got
taking advantage of
ABC
those
on the
red
other
lights and sirens behind him to slow
monitor,
traffic down
but
and move them out of the way.
their angle
and he
is
just weaved his way through.
not
So,
any better.
More
right
likely,
now.
there's more to this than we've been told, and the way the LAPD is handling it, it looks like they're being very cautious on making any type of
Actually,
attempt
there
to
is
take
better
that
right
vehicle
now.
out. But you can see here the pilot working
They've
his way
still got it.
along the
Somehow
airport. Now
they
the
still
crossing
have
here
it.
is at 2,500 feet, so he'll have to climb.
So let's see what
to
kind
get
of retired
across.
cop they have talking about it on here.
On a chase here. Again, this started right before 5:45 and has now continued from downtown LA right
Yeah,
through
Dimitri, they're right
LAX.
by the airport.
Yeah, now on Lincoln Boulevard, this is, I guess, technically traveling westbound, but Lincoln turns more to the north as it enters Marina Del Rey. We are going to have to use the extender on this lens because, again, we are restricted from flying across the airport. I believe there are ways across. Now turning, is this going to be a U-turn?
Oh,
back
he's
the
gonna
other
do a
way? Yes. So now
U-turn?
turning around on Lincoln Boulevard, heading back towards the airport, away from Marina Del Rey, and back to the south.
Oh,
and to
JP,
the
what's up?
east. Again, it looks like we have been
Oh,
able to
yo,
navigate
Sam,
over
welcome.
the airport, and I think we're
Okay, he's coming back
we're
at
over
least
this
somewhat. This isn't
pursuit
that
right now,
helpful,
which
but
is good. Not able to, we weren't interfering with operations at LAX, but a really good view here. It's a little hazy, and the sun.
why is this
the
foggy?
angle the
Because they're
sunlight
so
is
far
hitting
away
this
right
car,
now
it's
is part
a
of
little
it.
difficult to see into the back of this car. And
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
really
pretty tinted
hazy,
windows,
but oh, look at
something-
this.
Yeah.
You can actually see in the
was that
front
a
of the car right
balloon?
now.
What are we looking at here?
it-
Some kind of round yellow object.
Yeah, it does almost look like a balloon, but hard to know because, of course,
No, this is a person,
we have reports
but,
that there are
like-
2 people in this vehicle at this moment. Again, the passenger apparently hopped into the back seat, so we don't know kind of what's going through their heads right now. As about 7 patrol cars
You have
follow
one of
them
these?
on this chase.
Is this you,
Looks as though
Sam?
they're slowing down here.
What's up, Tom?
Not
How are you
getting
doing?
in the way of, or not endangering any of these
I mean-
these people near them. Not driving
The
too
balloon is
recklessly, but
reportedly
again,
driving.
going right through that light, it looks like, and being followed rather by about 7 LAPD patrol cars here.
Right, and the question we have to ask is, what is this person's plan? As you mentioned,
This
Right.
person
they're not
is
driving
assault with a deadly
particularly
weapon
recklessly at this
suspect.
point. Speeds
That
have
can
gotten pretty
mean
high at times,
a
but we're not
million
seeing
different
those
things, okay?
Desperate moves to
So,
get around traffic, to get
could
away
mean that
from
they
police.
assaulted a
That
person,
really
could
puts
mean they
other
drove their
drivers and
car
potential
into
pedestrians at
somebody. It
risk.
could
It's
mean a
just
lot of
staying in
things.
this lane right now at relatively moderate
Yeah, there's definitely a
speeds.
passenger.
We
Yeah.
had a pursuit last week.
They
and
must
we
be
could
wearing
say
like
it
some
ended
bright
exactly how
green
police
passenger or they have some bright green thing they're holding. I don't know. It seems like they put that in the back seat or whatever.
Following commands, that has not happened at this point. But again, trying to look inside this car, we can just see hands on the wheel right now. And whatever that yellow object was that we saw in the passenger seat, whether that was something
your foot can be a deadly
holding,
weapon.
You can still see it moving there. Whether that's a person, someone's head or hat, or it's difficult.
They just
to see,
love to speculate where it's someone's head or hat.
That does look like a balloon, right?
It actually does look like a balloon. Yo, it does.
Some sort.
Are they holding? Do they have like a nitrous oxide tank?
Runways, that tunnel on Sepulveda,
like filling up a balloon? You know what I'm saying?
We will see this car emerge.
Maybe.
Traffic relatively light for a Sunday. Again, as we mentioned, this will pick up, and getting those red eyes, especially on a Sunday, will be.
There's a bunch of cars that look like this one coming through here.
Just getting
what is
into
going
the airport,
on?
These roadways, both directions on Sepulveda, at one point later tonight, will be bumper to bumper and tough to navigate. Right now,
what happened?
Traffic does seem to be moving at a decent speed.
Right, and we mentioned,
look, there's the balloon. It's bigger now.
Have been a bit mindful of other drivers on the road.
Yo, I think it got
far,
bigger.
But we don't know as they continue to drive to lead these officers on this pursuit if they will get more.
They've got to be filling it with nitrous,
make some very
dude. It's
risky
got to
decisions
be.
here. Now on Imperial Highway in Westchester, again, right near LAX. If you're just joining us right
this
now,
passenger is sucking on that stuff.
Eastbound.
Got that gas. Whatever they call it.
Very curious about what that yellow object is in the passenger seat.
I mean, it has to be a nitrous oxide thing. Has to be.
Where they are seated, if they're in the passenger seat or in the back seat, again, those tinted windows make it very difficult. And if it makes it difficult
how Sam
for
drives
us, Sophie,
fast.
it makes it difficult for law enforcement.
Right.
They cannot see what's happening inside that vehicle other than through the windshield. And for officers in pursuit and from their airship above, they just don't know what's happening here. And when you talk about weapons, when they enter the equation, it ratchets up the danger a little bit, perhaps the tension for these pursuing officers, just the unknown and the potential danger that might lurk there that they won't see coming.
Right, and these drivers often cycle through neighborhoods and areas that they're familiar with, and now they are heading back towards the way that they came from. This started, we first got this call
Good question.
around 5:45
Then
in
how
downtown
effed
LA,
up do you have to
right
be
off of Hope Street there,
to be sucking on
freeway,
nitrous
and
while running
seems
from
as
the
though
cops?
The driver is heading back
After
towards
apparently
that
you've committed
direction.
an assault with a deadly weapon.
We were curious whether they were going to maybe try and get lost in the airport in a garage or somewhere on the property. That did not happen. So they cycled back from Sepulveda to Lincoln, made a U-turn, and came back around. And now they're traveling eastbound.
It's going over
on the
90 now.
105.
The view on this station's a little better. I'm
There
going
is
to
the
go
car
back
right there.
to Fox.
So there is the vehicle
It's a
as
bit better.
officers pursue this white
Less
Toyota
haze
Camry.
looking going on over here.
And all the team members are working together trying to get as much information on this driver as they can.
We've got our
to be
speculator-in-chief,
able to figure
Tim,
out
back.
what they want to do next. And as a patrol officer directly behind this car, you are ready for anything. You prime yourself for the worst, hoping for the best. And if you react to what the driver does, so if he should just suddenly come to a stop, get out, start running.
Oh, Richie
you
Flair,
have to
welcome.
think about which way they're running. Are they going to run
XQC,
through
yeah, I
traffic
know,
on the
always
freeway?
know.
The last thing you want to do is really, get tunnel vision on that driver and start running behind him and to put yourself in harm's way. But also, too, on a pit maneuver, you don't want to pit this vehicle where other drivers may become involved and then become victims as well. So even though he's going very slow here in traffic, the units are holding back, watching. So as I said earlier, they probably have some information that talks about
it's the
weapon
Galaxy
being
gas.
used
That's what I was looking
as
for.
being either a gun or some other type of instrument that they're going to hold back for. They're going to stay back. You can see how far back that unit is, and that's quite unusual. Normally, we see them right up on the
with a
front,
deadly
pretty close to
balloon.
it. And right now, they're doing their best to hold back.
Well, the traffic
Now,
is sort of helping, wouldn't you say?
Right.
The
I mean, I
traffic
don't know.
helping.
Is it
It's
helping?
slowing the suspect
What difference does it
down.
make?
And
The
so,
police were
as
keeping
law
up with them
enforcement
anyway.
Stays a little bit behind.
He
There
goes
is a
fast,
rumor
they stay
too,
right
Tim,
behind
I
him.
should just point out, it looks like the passenger side window may be open.
Yeah. Okay,
So it
what do we
does
see?
indeed look like
The
there's
balloon.
somebody.
Now he's
There could be
rolling it back
somebody
up.
in the. No, it's not open, but there could be somebody in the passenger side. So at one point we heard something that suggested there could be 2 people in this car, and that too is going to change the mindset of law enforcement as they approach this.
Yeah,
car.
wait for the Bearcat to come in and
Right.
take him
Who
out.
is the wanted suspect? The window was partially down when you first started, and it went back up, and I did see somebody in that right front passenger. And in a situation like this where it's an assault with a deadly weapon, maybe the driver is not the person they want, and they are going to focus on that passenger. And at that point, you're getting that information. Who is the wanted person in this car? And this also just came to mind. This could also be a want on the vehicle for assault with a deadly weapon that happened someplace else at an earlier time, and there was a warrant on this vehicle. So now you don't know
warrant?
who in the vehicle is the suspect. But
Got a warrant
if this
out
was
for his
a
arrest.
just occurred type thing where they have developed information that somebody in this vehicle did commit the crime, immediately or just a few
The balloon
moments
popped?
ago, to where they know who the suspect is and that the suspect is which one in the car, then they will focus on that. And now, one thing I should mention here, in a situation like this, we're going very slow. Traffic's coming to a slow crawl. Now, this gives you a perfect example of why you should always have your doors locked and have situational awareness.
All right, we hit the
of people
30-minute
around you,
mark.
especially if you see a car being followed by police cars. Keep your windows up, lock your doors, because they could be running out of gas and they know that, and they may force a car to the side, get out,
Right.
and take that car.
We've seen it.
Carjacking is a big thing at the end of these pursuits. So
And now we are
always be aware
also
of your surroundings when
speculating
you're
that this
driving,
person
even if
might
you're just cruising
carjack
on the
someone.
105
Jeez, so
or
much.
eastbound,
They get these guys
trying
on
to get
TV and they
home.
just have to
You
talk
could
and
be
they don't
involved
stop
in a crime
talking.
very quickly. And
Why would
these
your
people
doors
wanna
not
get
be locked
away,
while driving?
and they'll
Good
do
question.
anything they can to get away. So luckily, traffic's kind of
Do
opening
any
up.
of you
The
drive
speeds
with
are
your
picking up
doors
a little bit
unlocked?
as they approach Crenshaw. Yeah, but right now, LAPD just staying back, watching it, trying to develop that information, and to decide what they're going to do to end this pursuit.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting to see how the traffic kind of ebbs and flows. And you're right, Tim, we have seen this multiple times where
Hide your kids, hide your wife. They're
desperate
stealing
people
everybody's
make
cars out
desperate
there.
moves, right? And so, yeah, absolutely. Not so much on a freeway, but we definitely
Camry
seen it
closes
on,
his door while driving. Yeah, I think
on,
almost everything
you know,
does. Like everything will lock the
suburban
door while you're
streets
driving, right?
where they get to a point where they got to get out of one car and then they just like grab somebody and take off with another car. So we've definitely witnessed that before. All right. This is
I think new
pursuit
cars
of
are just
that
gonna
white
lock your-
sedan you see there. That is a 2022
Hold on. Okay,
Toyota
there's a clip.
Camry.
You got a
and
clip of
you're
the
not seeing
balloon
it right
thing?
now, but there are half dozen at least patrol cars following along this car. The original want for the suspect is assault with a deadly weapon. There appear to be at least 2 people in the car. We had seen somebody kind of.
Oh, it did pop.
Maybe
Yo,
open
he's
the
right.
window on the passenger
It
side.
did pop.
I
You
definitely
can literally
saw
see it pop.
like a green hat or something through the windshield. We're watching this
On
car
that clip,
as
you can
it's
see
now
the
driving
balloon
through
pop.
the
Good
Inglewood
call.
area.
Good catch.
This car has
I did
already
not notice that.
traveled basically on the 105. We've seen it once before going
blew
westbound.
it up
now
big
it
and
is
then it
going
just
away
popped.
from the freeway. We
So,
lost it for a time because
maybe
of
they got
the
more balloons,
air
but that's
traffic, the
the end of that
airspace
one.
over LAX. But now this vehicle seems to be going at a relatively normal rate of speed. I'm
What's up,
trying
St.
to-
Louis?
Maybe if Skyfox can pull out a little bit, we can make sure the patrol cars are still there. Or, you know, sometimes, Tim, we've seen that too, where everyone backs off, but they let the helicopter stay in follow mode, correct?
Right, yeah, it's what they call surveillance mode, to where the units will back off and the area will climb to a little bit higher
Sometimes they have
altitude. Just keep an eye
the
on
cars
vehicle
back off,
to
right?
see which
It's
way
like they just
it's,
gotta
going,
talk.
and then update
Like,
the
yeah,
officers
yeah.
on the ground in the different divisions. But here you can see it's right
Yeah,
behind
they're still
them now.
there.
Yeah, so they're
Where's Ness? Last I saw
actively
you sitting at
pursuing,
home.
and now it looks like we're making the 105 carpool swing here, and this will take the 110 north, and this is going to be an issue for the news media being able to clear through that LAX airspace, because the airspace starts at the 105 as you go north. So
I see.
it looks like we're going to get stuck in traffic here on the flyover. Hopefully they'll give them clearance to continue north. But right now with the letter of agreement with LA Towers that they're allowed to stay with it as long as it's on the freeway. But once it comes off the freeway, they have to clear the airspace, and that's just to give the police helicopters room to work, because in that area you have to stay below 900 feet, and that kind of compresses the airspace and the area to work in. And when you have a police helicopter making turns and sharp turns and change of directions, they want to keep that airspace open for them.
Right,
and the 900 feet keeps it away from the airplanes going over.
But let's talk
and the other station
the traffic on this freeway.
I thought they were
going
to show the balloon pop, but I don't know.
Drivers are noticing the patrol cars, and
they're
so
showing
they are doing what they're meant
You're
to
replaying
do,
a
which
balloon
is
pop.
go to the side, go to the right or to the left, which is allowing this
is
sedan
by far
to
the
make
best
its way
angle of the
through
news
the traffic,
stations, though.
where if it did not have these lights and sirens behind him,
Rook,
perhaps
what's
the
up?
driver would have stopped. Now, it looks like the driver is stopping. We got one door open on one of the patrol cars, but no, it continues on going at a very slow rate of speed. But notice how all the traffic has moved to the sides in order to
Rook Rabbit, that's
accommodate
true. If this person's armed, they don't
cars.
want to get in front
But
of
it's
them.
sort of interesting, Tim, don't you think, that this driver has
With a
decided
regular
to go
cop
at
car
this
anyway.
rate of speed, at such a slow rate of speed?
What's happening here is that driver does not want to get blocked in traffic, so it's holding back, letting traffic pull away from it, and also allowing
that
the
makes
traffic that
sense.
he's approaching to get out of the way. So he's basically doing a
And
maneuver
KK
here.
Dot,
I've
what's
seen this
up?
before,
Yeah, I mean, some people are pulling this out, they're trying
to let the traffic ahead of them pull away, but unfortunately traffic is so heavy that it doesn't have
is he
going
gonna
to
get out of
pull
this?
away to give them a clean lane. But what
They
do
are
is they
clearing
don't
out
wanna
of the
get
way
stuck
now.
behind all stopped
It's gonna
cars,
have a
because
clear.
then
I mean, it's like the
police
C's part.
could possibly use some type of spike strips or throw spike strips in front of them to where they can't get away.
Right.
And there's all kinds of things going on, but the information, what is that? Do they have a gun? Are they armed with a rifle? Are they armed with a shotgun? Or is the car the weapon? All that information has to be digested and figure into the idea of what you want to do when this comes to an end. But right now, there's a supervisor.
They should call me up.
watching
I
this
could
pursuit
speculate
in the
better than this
pursuit,
dude.
as well as the watch commanders back in the station.
I don't know all this
keep
stuff
an eye
about
on this as well to
the
make a
police
determination
procedures,
how
but
they
I
want to handle
mean,
it. But you can see, the driver is just holding back.
They say they're messing with something in the center console on the
they don't
scanner, Charles.
Stuck in traffic, and then
the balloon's got to be suffocating.
because they hear sirens.
Right.
But I saw that one of the balloons popped.
slow,
If they got more
they're able
balloons,
to
then
get
okay.
out of
But
way
the balloon
and
popped.
give a clear path for this driver to get through.
Well, Tim, let me ask you, there was a time when patrol cars would not run their sirens. They would have the lights, but not the sirens. I have heard that's changed now. So to what degree, how long does it take before you've got, patrol cars behind you? I'm just talking about a civilian driver, and then make the decision to go to the side, right? So, are there a lot of drivers ahead of this white sedan?
I hope not every one of these cops have their sirens on.
Maybe not.
If
But,
they do, oh my God, that must be so annoying.
I mean, I guess it's
Must
just
be
so
bad.
much traffic that there's not much room to maneuver to one side or the other.
Yeah, where's
Is that
everybody
what
going
was
to
creating
go?
this?
The rule is no. It's just heavy traffic on the northbound 110 at this time of day. It's just normal here. That's not those folks way over there to the left on the number 1 and 2 lane.
This is
they
very
have no
normal
idea
for a
this is
Sunday
coming.
night.
Okay.
And it's when you're thinking about the siren is emergency vehicle has to have its siren on to demand you yield. So when you come up behind a regular driver that ran a red light, you turn on the red lights and the blues. Normally a person will see that and yield to that. Now, if they don't, you give them a little hit on the siren to get their attention, and then they'll yield. Now, if they don't,
let's look
to
at this.
become an emergency vehicle, you have to have your emergency
What's going to
light and
happen
siren.
here?
Okay, I just wanted to point out that
There's a little
the lead
space now.
car
He's
there
still
was
just like
trying to
crawling.
kind of shimmy to the left a little bit. It looked as if, almost as if it was possible that the sedan, the white sedan in pursuit, was could have been boxed in a little bit, but then things start to move again. So now the patrol car is no longer like astride, if you will, to the left of the driver. So
Rapper, what's up?
Just
Yeah, it
so
is.
interesting
We got a convoy, Contra.
I
welcome.
haven't witnessed that police pursuit quite like this, where the traffic is going to
Galaxy
be
gas
as
would
much
fit
of
in the center console.
A weapon, if you will, or a tool, if you will.
If they had a
for
5-gallon
LAPD
tank in there, that'd be
as
wild.
their own,
But we've
smarts
seen it
and
before.
maneuverability maneuvers.
Is he ever going to get out of here? I'm wondering why, with all the chances he's had, why have they not jumped off the freeway? Like, they've had so many chances. They started this off the freeway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 police. Deadly assault with Galaxy gas.
As a rolling roadblock, because if something happens and somebody gets hurt, you don't want that to happen. And so they'll do everything they can to get the public out of the way and try to stop this. Now, running up in front of him and dropping a unit in front of him.
A code Robert? What does that mean?
But a rolling roadblock is also not within policy of most departments. If the vehicle is stationary, yes, you can drive a car up and block him in. But if it's moving, most departments have policies that you cannot do a roadblock on a moving vehicle. So there's a lot of rules and regulations that they have to follow. And also procedures. A lot of these procedures were, written for. It didn't work the last time, so let's not do that again. So all these officers have to be very well versed in the pursuit policies when they get into this, and that's what that supervisor in the pursuit is keeping an eye on to make sure nobody gets out of policy on this. So, but like I said, they're not going to use the car in front of them as a roadblock. Now they may try to, when it's stopped like this, get up alongside and turn in front of him and use the unit because now he's stopped, and now you can stop, you can block him. But once he starts moving, that roadblock chance goes away.
He's got his turn signal on.
The traffic's starting to move again.
Okay.
So glad to have you here, Tim, to give us the nuance on a police pursuit. There are as many as 8 patrol cars that are following this pursuit. And if you're just joining us now, there is a suspect in that white Camry. We've been following the suspect since the driver was in the downtown area. It has created this kind of situation right now where it's a very slow police pursuit. We don't have much more time in our Fox 11 6 o'clock newscast, but we're following it along, waiting to see how this pursuit ends. So far, other than one incident where the car seemed
even
to
if they
line,
go away from it on the news broadcast, we're going to keep it here.
Behave fairly responsibly, if you will. Not too many high speeds, not too many risky moves.
The CBS one isn't very far behind
it's,
anymore.
It's hard to imagine how they're going to bring this to an end.
And it's the same view. I might listen to what they've got if it's any more entertaining.
So to speak, that he's going to continue to kind of run the show, so to speak, for as long as he can. Until he's forced to make a decision here.
Yeah, and I'm curious as to what what the game
what the best case scenario would be for him. I mean, what is at some point he's got to realize that he's got a lot of officers here, but he also knows that they're treating this as a very serious situation.
Well, normally I would say.
Yeah, they're thinking you might have a gun.
And Patrick,
Downward Doggo, what's up? And JT, I mean, you haven't missed a lot. It's
but obviously
there's 2 guys in this vehicle. They had like a big bright balloon that popped. I think they might be doing nitrous oxide in there.
Managed to get in a getaway car, and then we just kind of lose sight of the suspect.
I don't know.
But. Is there any sort of length when it comes to like
so many cop cars?
Situation,
how could this be necessary whatsoever?
Upwards of an hour to 2 hours. Based on your experience, what does something like this look like at the point which we are at right now?
I'm just thankful they're not doing replays over here. They're doing replays like crazy on ABC.
Talk about is those pursuits don't usually have 10 police units directly behind
Fair point. Yeah.
Yeah, so and it's.
I guess they're just not gonna be able to keep up due to the airspace right now.
And for this one to get away, it would be very odd because, like you've seen in a lot of our pursuits lately, they go into parking structures, they go into LAX airspace, whatever it is. You have a couple of units. They're driving really fast. It's hard to keep up with them, but due to the seriousness of the crime in this one, what looks like it was a prior shooting.
Now they're saying it's a shooting?
And we want to buy your none at this point.
Why are they showing ads on the Skyfox feed?
Above, and like we had talked about, they're just going to ride it out. You got to remember that they can rotate officers from the different areas into this pursuit, full tanks of gas. the adrenaline settles down and everybody is just ready to go at all times. So CHP, I'm sure, has been notified. I'm sure they're standing by, watching their traffic on their freeways, blocking some of the on-ramps, and kind of helping on the side. But yeah, they will just ride.
Now we got replays. There's not much to replay here.
Jumps out of the car.
And as we approach 6:30 here in just a couple of minutes, we want to remind our viewers here that if you're just now joining us, sometimes we get into space that we're just not restricted to fly.
He threw the balloon out after it popped. There's another balloon.
While right now we can see
there's
those
another
lights
balloon
in the middle of your screen there on the left.
They just got balloons.
We've got to stay in
a
safe
balloon
space
toss.
where
There,
we're not
hey,
getting
that's on
in
the
way
bingo card.
Of other air traffic, but
Toss
as
objects.
you mentioned, Patrick, this is just going to be what appears now a waiting game, but also depends on the traffic. I mean, this guy is following the flow of traffic, not trying to.
Have we hit
go
the
fast
clown car?
when
Is
he
hilarious.
can't, when it's a
We're
parking
about to hit
lot,
45
but,
minutes.
picking up speeds when he has the brakes to be able to do so. So, I mean, it's just a fascinating thing to
Clown
watch
car
as
is
we
hilarious.
approach 45 minutes to an hour following this pursuit, that they are really taking this seriously and must know, that this person is very dangerous if they are not going to make any drastic decisions of pit maneuvers or spike strips and,
As far as we know, this is still going,
and
right?
it does feel like that is the, as Patrick has mentioned multiple times now, that is the one reason why something like that hasn't happened. It's just because you don't want to take that risk, and the safest avenue here is just
shirtless and foot chase, or if we got passenger exits, if the passenger jumped out and they had stationary objects,
because there's nothing else they can really do. Right now,
Right.
looking at it's still on the left side of your screen. We're keeping an eye on it from a distance, almost sort of parallel to what's going on, because again, that airspace restriction that Hunter
shirtless and
mentioned.
foot chase seems like
it doesn't look
somewhat
like we have a clear
possible.
view at this exact
Stationary
moment.
object is just if they crash into anything that's not like a moving car.
Was
Just like
in Inglewood, that
hit a
was
cone or
almost copy and paste to what we've been seeing for close
something.
to an hour at this point, ever since the pursuit started right in the Pico
Okay, we're
Union
gonna start the
area.
prediction for an
And
hour.
it's worth repeating all of this for our viewers here in case you're just joining us now at the half-hour mark of 6 o'clock on this Sunday evening. But there on the left side of your screen is the live footage from SkyCount of this pursuit as it
All right,
continues
use your
from
channel
LAPD. On
points.
the right side is from earlier, but that is more
Gonna
or
need
less
some
what
of
you've
you.
been
Okay,
seeing
they're
now
over
for
there
close
with
to
it.
an
Can we
hour.
please stop doing the
want
replay
here
thing?
is assault with a deadly weapon.
God,
So
ABC
that is
went
really what's
off of it.
coloring
Can you guys-
this
we can see the
entire
chase
pursuit
again.
as it continues to go on.
Patrick, I talked to you a couple of weeks ago. We had a pursuit with a battering ram. It was a big rig truck. So obviously a very different situation. Obviously,
Okay,
this car's able to go a whole lot faster than a big rig.
Fox
but
has
I
it
asked you
again
about
without
the percentage
replay.
of criminals that are going on these pursuits that are getting away.
There's
It
not much to
feels like
replay in this
they're either getting
chase.
more
So that's what's
creative
so
or they're
insane
learning
to
more
me. It's like there's
evasive
not much to replay.
techniques to be able to avoid getting caught. But you said something interesting, that you didn't feel like maybe that was the case. Talk to me about just the level of what we're seeing lately with people who are successfully able to draw this out in enough time that they eventually get away. Are we seeing more of that? Or do you think maybe we just, are seeing more creative getaways?
Why are they asking
Well,
this guy?
like we had
Oh, what do you
discussed,
think
I
about the
we're
recent
seeing less
chase
of it,
trends?
because we have district attorneys that are actually filing charges and filing felonies. Some of these criminals realize that they're now being punished for the crimes they're committing. So the police are also evaluating that, whereas before it might be filed, it may have been a felony before, but now it's being filed as a misdemeanor. So what is the worth to the public and the danger of the public to keep chasing them?
They're
So
charging
they
people with
give them the
misdemeanors?
distance, they pull
This
the
is like
units off,
clearly
they
a felony
qualify
offense,
air,
but okay.
And then some of them get away. But the crime that they are involved in usually isn't
Right?
anything
Isn't it?
super
I don't
serious.
know.
So
I don't know the laws.
As you can see in this one, this is the biggest difference. You have a serious crime. You
Dude,
have a
NBC
felony
is
or
still just
multiple
playing
felonies,
old chases.
and they're taking it
What
very
one is?
seriously,
What
and they want to
time
take
is
both of
this
these
one
people
from?
into custody.
This one is from
And right now,
earlier
we're still keeping
this
an eye on this.
year.
It is another sort of slow down
couple
portion
months
of,
ago.
of this pursuit.
They're just
right now.
playing stuff. I wonder what this is
I thought for a
showing.
second he was exiting.
I know
but
they
it
were
does
starting
appear
to
he's
show where
staying
they
on
were
the
going to
110
play old
north,
chases and talk about
near
them.
the San Bernardino
So I'm
or West
curious what's
Adams
happening there, but
Boulevard
this
and
is
Figueroa
more important
Way,
right now.
Exit there.
We'll watch
It's
that
in
when this
Central
ends, if it
City.
ends or whatever.
But I mean, we've seen this guy going in and out of.
Just drove past your house.
various,
Kenny, what's up?
Freeways, but it started on
Yeah,
side streets.
Splash,
It started
what's up?
on surface
Yes.
level, streets, and
We're
he was
47
going
minutes
into
in
opposite
now.
lanes of traffic, running
And
through
the
intersections,
helicopter is
running through red
caught
lights.
back up
But
to
as
the
far
chase.
as him being on the freeway,
that's
we haven't seen
good.
that same type of erratic behavior.
They deport Jenny not
as
yet.
we were seeing maybe earlier when this was just starting.
No, it's just been a very consistent, and here kind of veering very.
Camry
briefly
never
on the
stops, dude. It
shoulder.
never stop, never run out of
But
gas,
there's
never.
the long line
Still there.
of LAPD vehicles
that
directly
a Camry
behind.
right in
So
front of it,
It's
too?
been consistent in terms of its pursuit. It's been consistent in terms of the suspect driving the way that person has been driving for at least half an hour or so right now. Still waiting to
At
see
least
if there's
half an
any
hour,
point
yeah.
where they might veer off on an exit here and get back on surface streets. It feels like we've been teasing up on that
The
line a
balloon
couple
was
of
thrown out
times,
the
but
window.
Instead,
One of
it
them, anyway.
looks like maybe they're getting on the 10, but we'll
Yeah.
see. I just keep an eye on it. But overall, it's there. You wouldn't think, if not for the long line of police vehicles directly behind, that this would be any other car in the midst of Sunday
Shinji,
night LA
that's a good
traffic.
point.
That's basically
I
what's,
agree with you.
what's been going on here for a bit. But we know that there's at least 2 people in the car. That was the other added detail that we
Right.
learned.
What's
when
up,
we
Gamer
saw the
Pool?
window roll down and maybe
This
something
might
that
be
was going on.
hybrid.
I mean,
Oh,
was
it
it a
might
piece
be.
of string? Was it a
Yeah.
balloon? I mean,
Hard to
trying to figure that out when this is just such a weirdly drawn out situation is also tricky because it just
They probably
isn't
do have a
clear
pack of
what
balloons.
exactly that passenger threw
Why
out
would
of
you
the
only have
vehicle,
one?
but certainly they did throw something out.
Yeah, it looks like we're on the 10 going east now. But once again, nothing. It's just it's traffic sort of getting back and forth, or rather, getting back and forth in his way
Sure.
or their way. That's when we see the slowdowns. The earlier footage from earlier
there's that, yeah.
is
Watch
the window rolling
closely
down
here.
there.
Like a string of, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just bizarre.
Yeah. But that was our moment to confirm
That there was another person in the car.
in the vehicle. Otherwise,
If
that's-
you're watching
that's
on
the
Twitch,
most
but you're not
information we've
following,
gotten
hit
out
the
of
follow.
Who/what,
If you're on YouTube, hit the
is
like,
in the vehicle right now.
thumbs
Patrick,
up.
reiterate though the
It's
danger.
easy, it's
assault with a
free.
deadly weapon is what this
Costs
person's
you
accused
nothing,
of. Potentially
takes
a
1
shooting
second.
happened before this, but for those viewers who are just now joining us and are asking themselves, why in the world is this stretching on as long as it is? Why haven't they done something dramatic? Refresh us once again. Re-explain why it's so important for these officers to take it so
God, I'm tired of listening to
safely
these people.
and carefully.
But what other choices do we
Well,
have
time
right
is
now?
on their
ABC,
hands.
are
I
they
mean,
on it
It would
again?
be just ideal if the person happened to run out
They're
of
not
gas,
showing it
right here
anymore.
on the freeway where they can have plenty
Crazy
of room
enough,
to keep
they
people
stopped
away,
showing it.
plenty of room for them to get behind their cars and use them as cover. So they just want to keep.
Okay, are we off
going
the
and
freeway
try to
now?
end it on
We're
their
off the freeway.
terms.
Oh, this is where it's gonna end.
If it ends in
No,
a
he's still
certain
behind
area where
cars?
there's not a lot of
Oh
civilians.
man. Okay.
So there's just no benefit to a pit
Unfortunately,
maneuver
we
right
only have
now.
one
It
helicopter
could-
view of it right now.
It could anger them.
There are
or
multiple ones up
cause
there,
them to
but
do something that they don't intend on doing.
right
So
now
they
this
just
is
wanna
it.
let this ride
It's
out,
on 2
and
different
hopefully
stations.
they
We're
pull
watching it
over
on
or
one
jump
while
out of the
listening
car
to
at
it on
some point coming
another.
up. But I mean, we're now turning into certain areas or the general areas of where this could have all started or where they could reside. So it'll be interesting to see if we start to see, different officers in the areas based on the registered owner or who they may know is in the vehicle already.
Yeah, this is the latest, really fresh development.
Yeah, I
of the
assume they're
pursuit
running
because
in
we've
their
been going
own
on for so
car.
long
We haven't
on
heard anything about
the
a stolen
highway and
vehicle.
on the freeways, and just seeing a sort of prolonged amount of consistent driving, for lack of a better word. So now this is the first time being back on surface streets in close to an hour.
They've got to be.
So
you think they're
right
going
now,
somewhere? Like, is
right,
this
is
a
what heightens the fear,
strategic
the concern,
somehow?
Because you have all of these cars either parked or in the road. Like this right there is what's concerning, because we've seen a number of
70 people, not bad.
rear
All
endings
right.
happen, smashing into.
Everybody likes the
light
video.
pole,
I don't know that it
fences,
actually
walls,
helps or it
any of
matters,
that
but you might
could
as well do it.
happen, and
It won't hurt
that's what
anybody.
gets you a bit nervous as
Okay.
you get into this particular situation. It still looks like the suspect keeps using their blinkers too. That's the other interesting thing about this. But now this is the closest to a complete
Okay.
stop.
This
Before
is
then,
bad
okay,
angle. Can they
continuing
get
on.
over
We're
the
just gonna
top of
keep
this
on,
thing, or is that just
keep on going here?
Yeah,
through
this
all these
doesn't look good.
intersections, But
Okay.
yeah, you wonder if there's a sense of familiarity with this particular.
Right. I'm
It
wondering
appears
about the
now
sense of
driving through,
familiarity as
part
well.
of town that is what looks like a homeless camp.
You think the airport was a plan? I don't know that they. I don't even
heighten
know.
the risk of pedestrians
Skid
being
Row
around.
trip.
Patrick, you were telling us earlier that the best case scenario for a pursuit like this is that it stays on the freeway.
God, they're in really bad
in a
situation.
where
This helicopter
people,
is. Can we get closer?
But as we see the snake through Central City, South Broadway, and West 24th
passenger got
Street,
out.
This is dangerous. This is
Oh
where,
my God. Are you
people,
serious?
Cars, if there is a confrontation,
Oh,
I mean,
what?
somebody right there getting something out of the back
right.
of his car. Oh, and he's running now. We see that
there you go.
suspect running away with a sweatshirt on.
Passenger side door?
Yeah, it appears. So did he ditch the vehicle, and is that driver still in the vehicle, and is the passenger now running?
They're
it looks like
behind.
officers
On the other
are
station, they're
getting
behind
after
right now.
One person, potentially one person in the car, probably pulling them out, just taking a look. It's hard to get over these sort of shipping containers. And
they probably got
it looks
both
like,
of them, right?
they
I don't
got
know.
one
Why
person
would the
pulled
first
out
guy
of the
wanted to
driver's side,
run?
and then the passenger
The
is, still
driver
on the
doesn't
run,
wanna
but
run.
You did see sort of the tops
So-
of heads of a few
Look
officers
at all these
sprint down
cars.
this sidewalk, so they are no doubt in pursuit of that other person on foot, wherever they may have run off to. But it
Yeah,
looks like
where'd that
officers
person go?
obtained,
I wish we had another
the driver-
helicopter.
The driver of that
view.
vehicle got him into custody.
And this
We
is something
do
right
not.
now, time is of the essence. Patrick,
Wait, we
step
do.
us through
We do.
what's
Hold on.
happening with the officers that were in the area.
But they're not-
trying
they're
now
not
to
covering
locate that
the,
passenger that jumped out of that car. It almost looked like both of them jumped out because the car was kind of like swerving in the street.
veering a little bit, yeah.
That's sometimes.
Let's see what they're saying over here.
Throw it away. Looks like there might be some bias. Yeah, we see people on foot. The officers trying to get these people, members of the public, away from this scene.
Okay, so
which
that
can
did
turn
not last
volatile.
an
It looks like
hour,
the
right?
car
We
has
didn't
been
make it
cleared
an
and they
hour.
Wait to check the trunk, and we're curious what has happened to that passenger.
Oh, this is a
Very
car
crowded
meet?
situation, whether something's
Oh, is
happening
that
here,
what
some kind of,
happened here? Oh,
gathering
Kenny,
on
they
the
fucked
street,
up.
where that
Okay.
passenger went
So they
to.
drove into a car meet?
That really ended quickly.
Oh,
so if it looked like they
okay.
were blocked in, they weren't going anywhere. Those cars, I think, are parked on the roadway. So that is the driver. Being
All right,
led away in handcuffs.
shouldn't they have known that,
And we saw
Kenny?
other officers. We saw that passenger.
They drove into a
immediately
car
run
meet
out
and
of the
got
car, and
stuck.
Other officers go after him.
Okay.
But it does look like this is a very congested area. There might be something that
It
almost
isn't
like
a bad
going
idea
in
on
this
foot.
area. So
Like,
many people,
that's
so
a
many
good point.
cars.
Maybe the
And
person
we
on
saw,
foot
again, a lot of people take out their phones
was
and
able to
try
disappear out
record
here.
what was
But you're
happening
not
here.
going to, like,
And
you're giving
officers telling
up.
them to get away because, again, this started.
So,
because
that's a
LAPD
good
officers
point.
Believe that these people were armed.
There's a ton of cars.
And dangerous.
Yeah, and
Maybe
you wonder how much help, if any, that officers would have
maybe
gotten from
that
this
guy
crowd.
was
We don't
able to
know
just
what kind of
kinda
gathering
run
it
out
is. I
here?
see some kind of vintage cars. Whether that is part of this, but
Charles,
it
are you
looks like
still
this is
here?
some kind of street festival. Whether these cars
Right.
are driving or whether they're parked on the road. Here you have a gathering in the middle of this intersection, and
Right, that's
the
what I was
officers
thinking
still
too.
running.
Wait, they're still running.
So still is that him? Nope.
They don't know. Is it that?
I mean, there are
all
pe-
these
there are
people
more
are
officers
running.
running.
Okay.
We just don't know.
Wait, they're
where
confused.
The passenger
Yeah.
is. It looks like a large gathering. Of
Maybe
officers
this
have
worked.
tracked that person to this point, whether they're blocking off traffic. So it looks like they believe they have this person locked into this area.
Okay,
and
so
now it's
this
a matter of
totally
figuring
could
out
have
who it
been
was, or if we're just not
intentional.
seeing the person in custody somewhere. But the fact
Yo,
that they're
Uncog,
lining up
welcome.
like this leads me to believe they believe they have this passenger hemmed in to this particular block.
Okay.
Whether that's the case, we await, but they are organizing some kind of plan
Right.
and trying to find where this person and suss
Lady
out where they
Stiletto,
may
what's
have-
up?
may have
Oh my
gone to.
God.
And it was.
So maybe this was
probably very
smart
difficult
because
for them,
I
considering
know they were
how many
speculating
people were
earlier, like
gathered in
maybe
the
it's
street
not
at
the
the
driver who's
intersections. There
wanted,
are so
maybe
many
it's the
cars, so
passenger,
many
whatever,
people,
whatever.
and we
Right,
saw
and
that
maybe that
person
is
have
true.
a- they put their hood up. and
Maybe
ran
the
out.
driver was like, "No, I'll
And
surrender.
with
I
a
didn't
lot of
do
people
it."
in the roadway,
And the
it
passenger was
might
like, "No,
serve
I gotta
as
get
a-
away."
as a hazard to hamper that passenger's getaway. Is there something
What?
under this tree? You know, I just don't know whether they're arresting this person and they're
I
kind
don't
of
see.
shielding.
I don't see any
they're gonna move in
arrest.
now.
They're all just
In
marching like
formation.
they're the freaking National Guard at
down
this
the road
point.
as
What is
they
going
as
on?
these officers are attempting to find this passenger. It looks like who fled from a vehicle.
How about the traffic being
at the
blocked
end
up?
of the
Yeah, I
pursuit.
mean,
And
they gotta find this guy on
sweeping
foot.
the
But like,
area,
this
whether
is
they know
crazy.
what this
What are
person
they
looks
doing?
like,
Just walking in like a
whether
big
they're worried
group.
about the crowd maybe
Like, what are
turning
you
on them.
what are you
Bruce, what does
accomplishing
it
right
look
now?
like
You're
is
gonna
happening
find
right
this
now
guy?
to you?
You know, it's hard to say, but it looks like they're forming a formation.
They're
to go
forming
in
a
and
formation.
the suspect as this is some sort of, as you said, street festival or impromptu car show. How many are friendlies? How many are not friendly to the police?
Yeah, the driver had no
So,
choice, Mojo.
you know,
But
the bigger
like,
question is,
I mean, he had a
do you
choice. He
really
could have
want the
jumped out and
passenger
ran
as
too.
The driver is your suspect. He is the one that's going to do the jail time. So
the driver's doing jail time, not the other guy. The other guy seems to think that he's the one who needs to run away. You can't say that. He might have been the one who had the warrant out for his arrest.
Here's the video on the right of that passenger getting out and fleeing. They couldn't pursue that passenger.
They're still
right away
showing the spot where the car pulled over on the other station. They're not showing this whole cop march thing. Okay, so we're seeing this from a different angle now.
They're traveling information.
That guy got out, hoodie.
Don't know what this
he's
gathering
gone.
is, whether it's the kind of crowd that officers might need to worry about.
This guy just stayed in the car.
You're 100% right in this case. They are afraid that the crowd may turn and do what they call a lynching, where they try to take the suspect away from the officers, being sympathetic to the suspect.
They call that a lynching? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
We have seen that, so they're worried about their own safety, apparently.
Certainly
a lynching?
Loaded term, but as we look at this, it looks like the pursuit portion is over.
I don't know,
There's a
man. I don't think
large
that's what that
crowd. These
means.
officers are now walking pretty calmly through this crowd, but it has gathered quite a crowd. We saw a lot of vehicles on the street.
The crowd was already there.
The opposite direction. But this activity has brought a lot of people.
This
out
expert
into
is
the
a
roadway itself
fuckwit,
to see what has been
seriously.
going on, and we see a lot of people with phones out, a lot of motorcycles parked here, a lot of traffic.
Shinji, I don't
on
know
this
what
roadway.
their
This is
like
still, I think this
goal
is a
here.
walk
Are they
over
just
from
trying to
Main
make it
Broadway.
back to their cars?
But if
Or are
that's
they
the
actually
case,
trying to
both
find
people,
this
both
guy?
suspects are now in custody in the pursuit of 2 people wanted for assault with a deadly weapon, and now likely to be charged with.
Wait, they got them
several other
both?
charges after leading these officers on a pretty long, at least hour-long pursuit that stretched all the way to LAX. And
Did they
back
just say
down
they got the
to,
other guy?
South Los Angeles, almost to downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, and the officers cleared the car that they were pursuing pretty quickly. So even though they were in pursuit of this person because of
Pursuit driver, passenger on the run.
inside of
According
that
to the
car,
other
they
station,
did
the passenger's still out there.
deem it to be safe as soon as they got that driver and the passenger
Is
ran.
And that's it. Backing up right now. I have not
Westchester
seen
area,
that before. Officer.
This guy maybe was familiar with where he is right now and knew where to run or knew somebody who he could hide with. But it's just so fascinating as we watch the repeat or the replay of that there on the right. I mean, that guy just took off.
Yep.
And you got to wonder if he knew somebody in the area and could have potentially gotten into another car.
They said both, but
And you
the
see
other
them,
station's
so,
saying
like,
no.
You see the officers cautiously get in there. You open the front door, the driver's side door, and you wonder, oh wait, is there someone in there? Yes, there is. They took them out and got them down pretty quickly. But you're right, because
Well, over here they said that
these
they
areas
got
are
them
not
both.
too
Evidence at
far
this
from
point,
each
and
other,
crime
right?
has
The
been
central
committed.
part.
It's
So I'm guessing
unusual
that
to see
they
officers inside of it.
did.
Like
If
this,
they're
because
if they're
I
saying that
think
here,
there's
I
a sanctity
imagine that
to a crime
they're
scene. Isn't there some kind of
they're working with some kind of real info, but
evidence boundary that these
totally
officers
possible
wanna
they're
keep?
wrong.
Yeah, very much so, Jory. So I believe that they feel it's not safe enough for them to continue and be there. So they're going to move the vehicle maybe to a couple of blocks away and then do their further investigation there out of the purview of this crowd that's gathered.
Yeah, do you think their body
Okay, so they
cameras
got
are
both
rolling
guys.
at this point just to document what is happening inside of that car?
Oh, I'm sure the body cams or even the docu cams are rolling because it is something that the officers are required to activate.
Yeah, it's
And they
definitely
do
not
record
normal that they're
their,
driving the car.
Shift
but-
duties during their tour of duty. So it's all evidence at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks
when it comes
like
to that vehicle.
a
And
positive ending
ultimately
here.
it doesn't.
That,
The good
no one it appears was injured. We could have had a really dangerous situation. We saw speeds of 90 miles per hour.
What a
or
chaotic
above
end.
on local freeways. This traveled off-road off freeway onto some side streets. At one point, driving nearly on the opposite side of the road. That could
I
have
thought it's
turned
the
very
same thing,
dangerous, but
Snot,
as far
but-
as we can tell,
Charles, you
both
said that on
suspects
the
are
scanner
now
they're
in
saying
custody.
both as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was. This was a long pursuit. It went on for about an hour, but again, thankfully, both people are now in custody. And thank you for joining us during this breaking
Yeah,
news.
thanks to Bruce Thomas as well. Bruce, thanks so much. You are quite a help in lending information to us and our viewers in what is happening in this. Again, if anything else develops from this, we will have it tonight at 11
Yo,
o'clock
thank
on
you for
Eyewitness News.
following.
For now, thanks for joining us, and we return you to
Okay,
our
so here's the
regularly
thing
scheduled
I'm
broadcasting.
curious about right now is this is not a live chase, by the way. Okay, this is not a live chase. Not a live chase. They're showing the chase. There was the crazy ass chase.
Yeah, they
on
may try
NBC.
to contact that person. Thankfully, that person had their door locked. Oh my gosh, praise Jesus on that one.
They're showing this one, but what is the point of this show?
Okay. Obviously, probably really scared about what just happened there. This person is believed to be armed. 2 people in this vehicle believed to be armed.
Oh. Okay.
Get that information across the scanner at some point. I will let you know, but for now, the pursuit continues here southbound on the 5 freeway.
All right, so we've seen this one before, but
Empty tanker? It's empty? Okay, great.
I don't know what. I guess that their show
It's
here is
empty.
just that they replay chases.
So we just got an answer to the question I was just asking about what may be in the back of this.
Okay,
big
so
rig.
yeah, if anybody
The
wants to head out of
PhD
here,
is-
it's no longer a live chase, but I'm just curious what's happening here, so I'm gonna watch it for a minute. But thank you for joining me. If you want to go, I understand.
Pursue this tank here on the back of this big rig is believed to be empty.
This was the chase of the
It's
year.
empty, yeah.
And yeah, the point is YouTube. I mean,
Okay, so you see the CHP, they are behind him.
it's
but
like
not right on his tail. They are
I
giving him
mean,
a little bit in the way
this
of
chase on their YouTube channel probably has millions of views,
Now
but it's
through
like,
here,
why are they putting
let's
this?
see, we
This is
do
on TV
have
right now. It's like they're broadcasting
units,
this right now.
joining
This
here in
old
the
chase
pursuit, some
recorded on
more
810.
CHP,
You guys can't see that
units.
because I'm in the way.
joining the pursuit here.
Oh, Quinn B, welcome. Like, look, it says recorded on 810 over here. They're just
Hey
replaying
there,
this
Booth, I gotcha.
on NBC right now.
Hey guys, I
Wait.
copy you.
This is on their website. Isn't the game on NBC right now? This is just their
When
website.
we start
On
the
the on
show, guys, we're
NBC right
probably
now,
gonna be in
they
Stillwater,
have
'cause we're right at
the
the 5 and the
football
405.
game, right? So anyway, they're just replaying old chases. This is
Continuing on
not
the
the
south-
first one. They're replaying a bunch of them. Maybe they don't even go follow a chase when the game is on. I don't know. But all right, everybody. Thanks for coming through. Thank you for following. If you're not following on Twitch, you're not subbed on YouTube, go ahead and do that. Oh, wait. I wanted to show you guys this. So during that chase, someone clipped this for us. This is the balloon popping. Boom. Blew it up. It popped. And then we saw later they opened the window and threw it out. But I thought that was interesting because while it happened, I missed it. I didn't see it. But boop, there it goes. Back to the game. Yeah, I'm going to go watch the game, I guess. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Should I raid somebody, maybe? Anybody in particular you guys want to go see?
That kill? I might actually be the best.
Anybody? Should I just end? Nest is live. Yeah, we could raid Nest. Micah is Micah is live. All right, we'll raid Micah. I've raided Nest probably more than anyone ever, so we'll raid Micah. Okay. Or wait, sorry, wrong thing. Raid. Okay, there we go. Copy the raid message. We'll go over there. Say hello to Ulumika, IRL streamer. He's probably somewhere in San Francisco area. So thanks for joining me. Have a good night. If I go live again tonight, it's because there's another chase, which is completely possible. So come back if that happens.